Welcome back to our Global IT Solution GITS Cypress channel on lecture 10. Before you started this lecture, I highly encourage you to complete previous lecture started with this course. Let's get started and jump on the topics. So today we'll be learning about data-driven concept and push to GitHub. So on previous lecture we learned about page object model, and today we'll be learning about data-driven concept, how to manipulate the data into the framework. Now before started this data-driven concept, let's go ahead and revisit one more times our architecture. So on the architecture, we're in the test suite, a collection of test cases. Then we implement page object model. Now today on the third topics, which is a core concept, data-driven concept. So we'll be learning about data-driven concept, the fourth one. So we'll be following over here the previous test cases, right? Now over here, what is data? How do you know which one, what type of data and what data need to be manipulated? So inside in the test 8 blocks, you see over here A/B testing. This is called a user data, and have attributes href A/B test. This is called the application data. There is a two types of data over here, right? A/B testing, those are the text. So that's mean this is a testing data, which means this is a user data. User can click on it. But have attribute href, user not able to see it because this is on the DOM file, document object model, right? So this is on the DOM file. You can see as a technical person by going through with the dev tool, have attribute href A/B test. That's why this is the application data. Now if we can just like manipulate both data in the test. So our intention end of the day is the test case should not have hard-coded data. So this is called a hard-coded data, right? And if the test fail, let's say you have a 500 test cases. If the test fail, you have to come into the test case 500 test cases, and this is going to be nightmare to maintenance, right? So for overcome the challenges, we can manage our data. We can put them in a separate file. We can manipulate the data, and we can call the data here into the test. And if the test fail, we can going back into the global central location, and we can manage our data. We can update our data. Let's do it. Now for the A/B testings, so we'll be creating a JSON file, right? So let's go back into our draft, and we'll be calling as a user data. Now inside the E2E test, as we create a page object, now also we'll be creating another package called a user data. Inside the user data, we'll be create a file called a homepage data, because this is all about homepage, right? This is all tests are related with the homepage. So we'll be creating a specific JSON file called a homepage data. Homepage data.json file. So this will be a JSON file. Please remember all the time. So this will be a JSON file, or you can create user data over here, or you can create inside the fixtures file. So let's move the user data inside the fixtures, because as Cypress gave us a architecture of the folder, so we can put them over here inside user data called a homepage data. And inside the homepage, we can move our A/B testing, add, remove elements, all the text. As you see, the user relevant text will be moved into that. And homepage data, then so JSON file start with the curly brace, then we'll be adding over here, right? So like something like that. So A/B testing homepage.json, we'll be adding A/B testing and A/B testing. So this is the format you have to follow in all the times. A/B testing. So the data which is you have the actual data A/B testing. So you have to create a reference variable on it, so you can call it. So once you have it A/B testing, then you can call that inside our test. You can inherit that page, import, let's say home page data from, and feature file, user data, then homepage data, right? So now you have a homepage data. Now you can call that homepage data instead of A/B testing dot, you see the A/B testing coming in, right? Now if you run this test, let's see it is running or not. npm run test. If the first test is working, so we'll be changing all the hard-coded user data, and we'll be replacing this data into the JSON file and calling that variable A/B testing into here. It is working. Now take a look. If you clicked on A/B testing, it will take you over here. A/B testing is your reference variable. A/B testing is your actual data. Now I already created behind the scene, so I'll be just copying from here and pasting there. Okay. Now let's go back on the home page data. Let's put him over here. There you go. So this is all the data, user data is a link text we declared here, right? Later on you will be learning as a like the junior QA to senior QA. Now you are a part of the senior QA as a senior automation engineer, because you are managing, you are following the architecture. But prior to that, like before doing anything, like as in a one test class, what you are doing, all the validation, that was the junior test engineer works. But you are doing right now is a senior test engineer works. You are managing all the data, page object model, data driven concept. This is not the junior people can works. This is a senior people works, senior test engineers works. Now if you call that A/B testing, add remove element into our test cases using the home page data as a variable, the test will be look like this. Test will be look like this. So we'll be just copying, as I mentioned to you, copying and pasting it, and make sure the tests are working as expected. Let's see, this is too many tests, right? 44 tests. It's not it is not a joke. So if I changing everything, 44 tests with the reference variable, as you see, A/B testing. This is the A/B testing, right? And this is we are calling A/B testing, add remove elements, everything's all the data. So we are adding into it, and also the URL, the value, URL value, right? We have to add them in it. So basically we are adding the URL too, which is an application URL. Inside the homepage data, you can come here and put them here. So this is all the URL, you are adding it. Duplicate dynamic controls. Yes, this is a duplicate value. And this is for all the links, and this is our homepage data. It's good. So you cannot put the comments over here like this. You can put the comment something like that. So put, and this one you can put them over here as the links. Links, just like for your reference, nothing more than that. Links. This is how you comment in JSON. You have all the text, link text, you have all the links, and you define the variable and you call that inside our test, which is A/B testing, which is a link. So this is called a data driven concept. This is a senior level test automation engineer can able to perform it. Let's try run it, npm run test. Let's see it is working or not. If not, we'll debug it and fix it. Also we have left over here, as you see, the have attribute href will be manipulating in later test, but for now it's going to be too much, too much manipulating the data, or too much work in order to do that. So we'll be doing it in a optimizations, during the optimizations, right? So couple of the test is failing here. So it says that 1 of 3 failed, right? So page object home page, the link assertion on home page, get list up. So we're supposed to be have only 2 tests, not page object model where it came from. Take a look. So A/B test, so that's mean this is page object homepage.js. This is not our test, right? So page object homepage.js, this is not our test. So this is not supposed to be inside the E2E. Basically this is supposed to be outside of the E2E. And yeah, so now npm run test. Okay, so 1 test passed, 1 is failed. Now let's go ahead and see the home page, right? So home page locator is good. This is the page object model concept, and this is our data. Now take a look why the test is failing, right? So we need to debug it. So it says fail, but we're not able to see it. Let's say clear, do clear here, clear. Now save it. Home page, there is an error over here. It's saying the error. So let's remove the error first. Work with the error, right? Error, fix the error. There is a 2 more error. Okay. Now let's go ahead and write npm run test. On the JSON file there is no error. Over here there is no error. Let's see. Okay, so link assertion homepage dot sci, link assert on the homepage. This is our link assert as a described block names. Okay, it takes time. That's when it's not working as expected. Let's go ahead and see why it's not, right? It's not going anywhere. It's supposed to be started working on with the 8 blocks. Validate link content A/B testing, but it's not going anywhere. Okay, let's terminate it and start it again. Is there any error? I don't see any error. Okay, start over here again. Everything looks good. Okay, so we'll debug in next class, in upcoming class. We'll debug it and we'll optimize our code a little bit a different way. So code can be more clean and a smaller set of code. Instead of 230 lines, we can just generate a 5 line of code and doing the same assertion again and again. Okay, thank you so much for watching this lecture. Stay tuned for upcoming lecture for the rest of the course.